Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is David, this is David K Reacts, and here on this channel I ramble with articulation, I hope, about a variety of different musical, visual and audio elements from the videos that I watch. And today I am going to be watching one of Home Free's newest, not quite their newest, I saw they have one more out since this, but Let Me Come Home. I don't know particularly why I picked this over the latest one. I don't know, I think the thumbnail appealed to me more than anything else. I don't know much about this. I believe it is an original by Adam Bastien, who is the new tenor who joins Home Free, and so I did not discover that incidentally until after I opted to do this song, and I put it into Google to see if it was an existing song, and it said lyrics by Adam Bastien. Besides that, I know nothing about it. I didn't read the lyrics, I was just trying to understand if this was a cover or an original. And I do love the idea of welcoming Adam Bastien onto my channel with a reaction to Home Free, not only with him in it, but with a song that he wrote, or co-wrote. And for that reason, I think this is, I'm glad I picked this, and that's all the rationale that I have. Sorry that the channel's been a little quiet recently. There will be a channel update going out shortly if it hasn't gone up already. Just sort of, genuinely updating the channel, but also catching up with, for 60 seconds or so with me, and why that has been the case. Rest assured, videos still coming. But yes, I'm looking forward to this one. It's been a while since I looked at Home Free. I'm excited to get into something else of theirs, and I'm excited to see how Adam Bastien's voice adds to the group. And now, of course, we have the challenge of a 5-man group with 3 Adams in it. So Bastien, Chance, and Rupp, I guess. But yes, I'm very much looking forward to this. I don't really have a lot to say, because I have no context for this song. The title alone sounds poignant, so I'm anticipating that. But I haven't seen anything else about it, and so really I think that's about all I have to say as an introduction to this. So instead, I will just jump ahead and say welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time here. If it is, the way this works, I'm going to watch this through from beginning to end, commenting and emoting over the top of it. I will then go back and watch it a second time, this time pausing, interrupting, offering what commentary and analysis I feel I can based on what I've just seen and heard, and the foreknowledge of having seen it once before. Also, pardon me, I have the beginnings of my traditional winter cold, so I'm sorry if I'm a little sniffly. Please do like the video, hit the subscribe button, and if you'd care to, you can donate to support the channel by heading to buymeacoffee.com/DavidKReacts, to patreon.com/DavidKReacts, or by leaving a super thanks here on YouTube, any of which would be gratefully appreciated if you choose to do so. And that's about it. So without any further delay and a very quick intro, we're going to hop in with Home Free's Let Me Come Home. Nice, having him walk in. Ooh.
Bright colored leaves lost beneath the snow, a feeling dark and cold, I wish I didn't know.
Oof,
like the
hard.
Rising sun, our lives have seasons too, but faithful hearts remain, and mine is still with you. Every year it feels so wrong, aching for the only place I know I should belong. Can I come home this Christmas? Please let me come home this Christmas.
Oof.
Remember we'll all
Gorgeous voice, but wow, these lyrics are extraordinary.
a little grace and love. So can I come home this Christmas? I just wanna come home. My favorite memories are the ones I shared with you. It's what I held on to as the distance grew. Now I wake up to the pain.
Oh, that's tough, isn't it?
Of knowing we're estranged, but it was not my choice. I'm not the one who changed. Being who I'm meant to be
Oh, wow, that's a hard lyric.
So let me come home this Christmas. Please let me come home this Christmas. Remember, we're all deserving of a little grace and love. So can I come home?
True that.
This Christmas, I just wanna come home. The place that I recall was built on common ground. We're family after all. Wasting precious time. Could you look me in the eyes? Would you set aside your pride for the child you recognize?
There's a lot to talk about here, but I just need to take this in.
Can I come home this Christmas? I just wanna come home this Christmas. Remember, we're all deserving of a little grace and love. So can I come home this Christmas? Please let me come home this Christmas. Just wanna come home.
Gorgeous. Really beautiful.
Let me come home.
Ooh, very nice, sir. Whew. Bastien comes in swinging. That's an incredible piece of music, beautifully sung. And I feel like it can speak to a much wider audience. Like, I think it's been beautifully written to be accessible to so many people who sadly might have reason to ask this question. And for so many different reasons. I know a couple of people who might have to ask that question. And I think it's very easy to take it as a given that home is where you go for Christmas. But that could be a scary prospect for some people. And that might be personal. That might be because of an entire prejudice. That might be because of physical reasons, like people who have been dehomed for one reason or another. And I think there are too many reasons in the world why that could be happening as well right now. That is... I don't know what I was expecting when I went into this. I said it might be poignant, but that's a lot. And that is beautifully written. And what a powerful... I needed a bit of catharsis today in some form, and the harmonies in that gave it to me, even while the lyrics kind of broke my heart a little bit. And that's really good songwriting. I think when you can blend those two, that is really, really powerful. Let's go back to the top of this, and I'm going to watch this again and see what I can pull out of it. And yeah. I love... Okay, my traditional 2-second stop. I love this as a setup. Like, is this in the formula? I'm just looking at the line on the ground where... Right here. Where I feel like that's an indication that they're in the formula. For anyone who hasn't come across that, the formula is this new style of LCD projection. LED projection, excuse me, where it's being used in movies a lot. Voice Play have used it. I don't think I've seen Home Free use it yet, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're doing so now, where the backdrop, as you see here, is presented behind, and you can act in a live scene. And it's quite extraordinary. I'm guessing just because of the shape of that curve. It could be a curb, but I don't think so, because they're not actually, like... Anyway, let me know in the comments if I'm wrong about that, but I feel like this is filmed in the Formula. I love this idea of the simple set, a phone box, a street lamp, a bench, and we start... Was this Bastien's first video? That's my first question for you. Or at least first new video, because I feel like he was in the remake of Champagne Taste. Or maybe I'm wrong about that. Maybe that was Austin. I've lost all track of everything right now. I've been, again, watch my channel update. I've been a little bit out of the game for a short while, and I'm catching myself back up again. But I love that it's just the four of them, and then Bastien walks in. That's a really, really nice touch, kind of presenting him to us. Whether it's the first video or not, it's still very new in their canon, in terms of being something that... new in like his canon, his journey with Home Free. And so it's still a very nice way of doing it. But also... this look of they're all separated by space. You know, you look at Tim and Chance, they're sitting at opposite ends of this bench. They know each other. There's no reason for them to be separated, but they are. Adam Rupp off to one side, Rob off to one side. There's no sense of proximity here. And I think that really beautifully sets up the tone. It's subtle. It's not, there's nobody sitting there, tears streaming down their face, clothes torn to shreds, like sitting in the corner of an alleyway. It's not that smack you around the head, and it doesn't need to be, and it shouldn't be. But it's a really nice way of starting this off. And then nobody, I don't think. Yeah, there's such a slight, just that slight look to one side from Tim as Bastien walks in. There's no real acknowledgement of him as he comes by. These are 5 people who are separate. It's a really, really lovely tone setting. And then this background behind them, the lights, lots of red, of course, very Christmassy colour. It's very beautifully set up to make some of these houses look very warm. But then on the right-hand side of the screen... and a little bit on the left, but more on the right, you see these windows that don't have light coming out of them. And there's something about them in this setting that gives them a loneliness and a coldness, maybe, that isn't in the other windows. And I think that's a really nice touch as well. They've done a lot of really good world building in the first frame of this video. Beautiful intro. The simplicity of it just all being ooh, very, very simple. It's a neutral tone. It's not like a sort of ee, which would be very, very happy sounding, but it's not an ah, like there's no power, strength to it. It's a smaller sound. You're using less of the resonant cavities to actually produce it. Ooh, and it's coming out of a small lip shape. Nice and withheld, and it just allows for these lovely flowing chords that we go through there. And as we go through, the chord sequence here is quite simple. Just changing. It's so nice. You have those 3 longer chords, Rob just sailing over the top with that solo line. But you have those 3 longer chords, and then on that last one, all 3 notes of the melody are over a different chord, ending up on this lovely crunch there right at the end that just hangs on and fades out for a second. And we don't leave it hanging for too long. It's fairly quick that Bastien actually comes in here. Maybe a second or so of silence, and even then there's a little bit of decay in the sound. It still hangs on for a moment, and that's really, really nice. It's just, again, a beautiful tone setting. We know we're in for something slower. We know we're in for something that's going to be a little bit more introspective, perhaps. It's very, very good at saying this is what this kind of song is. It's a lovely intro, works really well for the voices, and I love the fact that you have the four of them just doing this so that when Bastien comes in as the soloist, he's set apart, and it allows this to be his song, because he is coming in not having sung for that. Well, I don't know, maybe there's 5 parts there, but at least in terms of the visuals, he comes in not singing, and he's given that separation from the group to then sing over the top. Notice he also takes a step into the phone box. That's storytelling. He's about to pick up a phone and make a phone call, sure, but it's also putting him into a space that is separate from the rest of them, which means he's even more alone than the other 4. And so you also have that sense that this is the person who's going to be telling this story for multiple reasons, and I really, really like that setup. Also, I'm guessing that this was a set thing and they just wanted to, it's a mock-up kind of thing, but I do enjoy the fact that the phone box doesn't have a roof, and it's not something that we're going to focus on for any length of time, but the idea that you're just kind of walking depressed through the snow, being snowed on, and you go into a phone box and continue to get snowed on. It's just, you see people using a phone box for shelter sometimes, or it's like you run in there and you're glad to be making the phone call because you're undercover. And the fact that they've constructed one here that doesn't have any kind of roof on it, I think is a nice touch.
Bright colored leaves lost beneath the snow.
What a lovely couple of lyrics that we get there. Bright coloured leaves lost beneath the snow. Bright coloured leaves is such a positive first line. And it's sung, bright coloured leaves, 5th, 6th, 4th, 3rd, excuse me. And so we start with this lovely major sound. And it gives, if you just listen to that, you kind of get the idea that it might be one of those descriptive songs that just talks about how beautiful winter is. But lost beneath the snow. Beneath the snow. 2 words there. Yeah, we know that leaves get covered up, but that means not only... Excuse me 1 second. Am I going to sneeze? Apologies. It means not only have we lost the leaves beneath the snow, and lost is such a strong word, they're gone. No one knows where they are anymore. It's not covered, blanketed. There are words you could use to indicate a more positive outcome. No, they're lost beneath the snow. But it means the brightness is lost beneath the snow as well, which is such a beautiful description too, because snow is so bright. Snow blindness is a thing where the sun is shining off the snow so much that it actually blinds you as much as looking up at the sun would do, because it's just glaring you in the face with this reflection of white. And yet the brightness is lost underneath that. Yep, I realise it's nighttime, but you see what I'm going for with that. Lovely, lovely opening. Bright coloured leaves, shiny line, lost beneath the snow, dark line. Great stuff.
Bright colored leaves lost beneath the snow, a feeling dark and cold. I wish I didn't know.
Lovely entrance from the boys there. The idea of this feeling, I wish I didn't know. I mean, that's a heart-rending way of explaining things. I wish I didn't have a familiarity with how I'm feeling right now. And the fact that that's the line that they come in on with the words rather than just these vocalizations behind really makes that hit home. I also love the decision for him to come off fairly rapidly, Bastien that is, and for the chorus to hold their note on so that no lingers a little bit. And again, it almost turns into a vocalization. It's a return to where we just came from. Lovely stuff.
Cold, I wish I didn't know. Like the rising sun, our lives have seasons too, but faithful hearts remain, and mine is still with you.
That's such... Again, the lyrics in this... I don't usually talk about lyrics as much as this, but these are just so powerful. Like the rising sun, our lives have seasons too. The rising sun is such a positive thought. Again, the rising sun brings the dawn, brings warmth, brings happiness, brings so many different things. Our lives have seasons too. The implication there being, yeah, but it's going to go away again. That's a really strong... This is so evocative. And it makes me... I actually read a thing on Instagram recently, and I know there's places that have it far worse than this, but having it written this way was really interesting. There was a village in Alaska that just recently, about a week ago as I'm recording this, had their last day of sunshine for 65 days. Because of where they're so far north that as the sun goes below the equator for the Northern Hemisphere's winter, they won't see it. They won't have another sunrise for 65 days. That's over 2 months of darkness. That's crazy to me. I've never lived anywhere that can say that. The longest, I don't know what the longest night I have been present for has been, but the most northerly place I think I've spent any amount of time is probably Winnipeg in Manitoba, Canada. And that's not that north compared to a lot of places people live. And what an extraordinary thought. But that lyric brought that to mind when I heard it, is that idea of, yeah, the sun comes up, but it also goes down. And that's true of so many things in life. And I'm obsessed with these lyrics because what Bastien's written here is so beautiful. And it's being so wonderfully supported by this arrangement.
But faithful.
Out of interest, did he write this, and I might know this by the time this video goes up, in which case I'll put a note here, but did he write this for Home Free, or was this a song that existed prior? If I know that, I'll make a comment, but if not, please let me know.
Our lives have seasons too, but faithful hearts remain, and mine is still with you.
I love also, as we get, and mine is still with you, as we get that, we get this shot right here. We're seeing him from behind. We're seeing, like even down to the little marks on the phone booth that indicate that it's either cold or dusty or both. Like, this shot does not induce hope. And I think that's a lovely shot to have as that line is sung.
Every year it feels so wrong, aching for the only place I know I should belong.
Oh, that hits hard too, doesn't it? Aching for the only place I know I should belong. Everybody should belong in their home. Right? Whatever that is, whether it's a home of family you've chosen, whether it's a home of family you've grown up with, whatever kind of family it is that you're talking about, home should be home. And there are people right now I know for whom home isn't a comfortable place, and that's a very sad thing. And that lyric, I think, is it's one of the lyrics in this song that I feel speaks to such a breadth of experience. I'm guessing, and this is only a guess, but I'm guessing that something happened to Bastien. That was a difficult situation for him to be in, probably over a Christmas, because this lyric feels extremely based upon having lived through being able to ask this question. And probably most of us can ask something similar, but for it to resound so deep. Again, let me know in the comments, it's if this is publicly known. And maybe that's nothing to do with it. Maybe he's just an exceptionally evocative songwriter. But these lyrics are very, very sincere and real and raw. And that's an extraordinary thing to be able to present in song. Also, I love this harmony that we get here. I'm not really talking much about the boys, and I should be. Like, everybody here is doing an incredible job. But the fact that this backing is giving so much leeway to Bastien to do his thing and to present the beginning of this song, it's so lovely. So before we get things like percussion coming in and more detailed involvement from the group as a whole, we've got this lovely support. And that's what it is. It's an accompaniment. It's a support. It's a completion of something that already exists, rather than it's not one of these moments where it relies on all five of them to function. Bastien on his own could do this, but he's being supported by the group, and I think that's such good work in this arrangement.
It feels so
These dark ooh, it's such a wonderful sound to accompany the tone of this song.
aching for the only place I know I should belong.
And I love that we cut to this, where again, it's all about support. Bastien's in front. Bastien's the one singing this. The others, you got this very much, this sense that they are behind him. They are involved in what he's doing, but it's all in the sense kind of holding him up as he sings this. And I really, really like that. The framing is perfect for that. The idea of having him at the center of this V shape. But also the way that the arrangement speaks. Like, there's still plenty of space, even as we bring in this in, for him to be standing up on top of that.
Can I come home this Christmas? Please.
Even there, home, and we go into, I'm not 100% sure what they're singing there, but we just go back to vocalization. So home, that longing wail, home. They're not doing that. They're not putting that kind of cry into their voices. But you know what I mean? Like, it's got that sense to it of that wail about home being the place that you should be. And then this lovely accompaniment from Tim and Rupp underneath. Just very, very simple and filling in the sound so that we get a more full sound, but without losing that wonderful kind of independence that Bastien has at this point.
This Christmas, please let me come home.
Also, on a completely separate note, I really want Bastien's coat. That is a really nice coat.
This Christmas, please let me come home this Christmas. Remember, we'll all deserve.
I love that idea too of "Come on home," the call in the background that somebody is longing to hear, and I love that it's kind of left open to the mind whether it's like, is that somebody actually saying this to you, and you're struggling to hear it, or is it in your imagination of, I wish somebody would say that to me. Lovely, lovely work just having that in the background of the arrangement there. I really like that decision.
This Christmas, remember, we're all deserving of a little grace and love. So can I come home this Christmas? I just wanna come home.
Oh, we're all deserving of a little grace and love. Every single individual in this world should hear that lyric and think on it for 5 minutes. I think. That, of every lyric in this song, that one speaks the most to me right now, because I think there are too many reasons right now why that isn't necessarily the case.
This Christmas, I just wanna come home.
I also love the decision here. You have this. It just goes from the two that could easily have been a Christmas, the Christmas, and do the 2-5-1. Or even dum dum dum, and do a 2-5-1 that way. But by leaving it on the 2 and leaving that chord hanging, like hanging chords in this are a theme throughout this song, and they're very, very effective. And that one, that bass line down there, the chord over the top of it, it doesn't give quite the satisfactory resolution that we really want, because it doesn't have that passing 5 into it. Even though it's implied a little bit, it's not actually there, and so the resolution down to the 1 feels anticlimactic almost, and I love that decision too.
On this Christmas, I just wanna come home. My favorite.
Oh, Rupp's use of percussion through that is lovely. Just those little interjections. Tim also had one in the dum, hitting the dum at the beginning of his hum on one of those notes. But there's just that little bit in the background that just feeds in, keeps us connected to it so that it can come back in again. Really, really nice use there.
My favorite memories are the ones I shared with you. It's what I held on to as the distance grew.
Oh, that's so difficult too. What a powerful line. My favorite memories with those memories I have with you were the things that I'd use to try and keep myself anchored. And it wasn't. Well, it was becoming more and more difficult to be that way. Wow. That's strong stuff. Memory is a very, very powerful thing too. Like, what are we? We're the sum of our experiences, good and bad, up to this point. I am the person I am right now because coming on for 40 years of experiences have built up in me. And some of them were good, and some of them were bad, and some of them were sad, and some of them were very happy, and some of them were scary, and whatever else. And that makes me who I am. And so the attachment to that can be very, very strong. And that line is just gorgeous for that reason.
As the distance grew, now I wake up to
little things to that, whatever the little embellishment was there, and they held on to from Rob as well. These little touches that are just coming in here and there are just so beautiful. This is really, really well written.
as the distance grew. Now I wake up to the pain of knowing we're estranged, but it was not my choice. I'm not the one who changed.
Oh, yeah, this is strong stuff. It was not my choice. I'm not the one who changed. And I think that's something that can speak to so many different experiences as well. If, you know, it's just a relationship growing apart, maybe both parties changed. Maybe only one changed. You know, it's a very powerful feeling when you feel like somebody else has changed and you're suffering for it. And that's really, really difficult. People who have gone through any degree of transition, and I know many people who have transitioned, and they, out the other end of their transition, at least a couple of, and I don't want to speak for anybody right now. I can only speak for myself, and you know, I haven't, obviously. This is who I have always been. But I think that even my use of that phrase there, I think that's a thing. I think somebody who has transitioned would say, or at least a couple of friends I have actually said something to the effect of, this is who I have always been. I haven't actually changed. There's been some physical change, yes. Or maybe just the voice has changed, whatever. There has been some change, but I am still who I have always been. It's you who is now not accepting me right now. You're the one who's changed. And, you know, this is another beautiful example of how this song can apply to so many different people. And I really, really, I can't get over how all-encompassing this is and how important it is that I think everybody takes these words to heart. This is stunning.
Choice. I'm not the one who changed. Being who
I should note too, I think, like I was just looking at the grip of the chest there, and I think that's something you do. I'm not the one who changed. I think Bastien's acting in this is really, really nice. He's not overplaying anything. And I think that's a really, really good choice, because I think often you can get the most emotion by playing it as small as possible. It's not like he's going, I'm not the one who changed. You know, that kind of thing. It's just, I'm not the one who changed. You can feel the hurt in that line. And I think the way that he's presenting this is stunning.
being who I'm meant to be made me a stranger in the house that made me me.
Okay, I lied. Maybe that line hits hardest. Being who I'm meant to be made me a stranger in the house that made me me. I became this person because I was brought up in a home that allowed me to become this person, and now I'm being ostracized because of it. Wow. Wow, that is heavy stuff. And a really, really beautiful line.
Stranger in the house that made me me. So let me come home.
I also love that it's after that line that we get this uptick from Rupp in what the percussion is doing. We get that harder, the sort of the more enhanced snare drum, where previously it's been a bit more withdrawn.
In the house that made me me. So let me come home this Christmas.
we've upped the ante, and that's represented in how much how much the support has grown closer. Even this shot is closer up, and the guys probably are no closer to him than they were before, but because we're tighter in, they feel a little closer. It feels like they're supporting him more. The emotion is growing, and so they are growing into that emotion. Lovely stuff.
Home this Christmas. Please let me come home this Christmas. Remember
and now we focus clearly on Rob as he sings "Come On Home," which we didn't do before. The yearning is so much stronger now. We actually see that lyric represented on screen, which I think previously it was either off to one side or it wasn't on screen at all. That's nice.
home this Christmas. Remember we're all deserving of a little grace and love. So can I come home this Christmas? I just wanna come home.
Oh, the drop from Tim going into the bridge.
This Christmas. I just wanna come.
He slides down really, really well there. That was gorgeous.
Home this Christmas. I just wanna come home.
And then he comes in all the way down there. Really, really nice motion in the bass line there. That's lovely. It's a great lead into the bridge because it's a sound we haven't heard yet in the song. Love that.
I just wanna come home.
And notice as we go into this bridge now, Rupp is hitting more riffs, more embellishment in his percussion as well. Everything's building as we go through.
I just wanna come home. The place that I recall was built on common ground. We're family after all. Wasting precious time. Could you look me in the eyes? Would you set aside your...
And now even through this whole section, we've got this do, 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 do. Like it's just a little extra something that's coming through that's helping to kind of keep the momentum through this bridge. It's pushing a little harder the whole way through, and it's gearing us towards the next step in the song. It's a lovely... The evolution in this song has been quite subtle. It hasn't been happening every 4 bars or something like that. It's been gradual, but it creeps in and you realize it's there and you're like, wow, we have actually gone up a step and I didn't realize we were there yet. And that's lovely. It's been, again, beautiful arrangement work.
Could you look me in the eyes? Would you set aside your pride for the child you recognize?
Oh, what a lovely fade away, the gentleness of that note. That's gorgeous.
Would you set aside your pride for the child you recognize?
And then the Christmas bells in the background. Really, really nice. That's a beautiful transition. And again, Bastien's playing it really beautifully in his acting here. Lovely key change. The build up to that is gorgeous. And I love that we get that note. And you get that, oh, almost a little fall off at the end, but holds through the whole way, but then cuts off the moment we get Bastien coming in with the beginning in the new key. Lovely, lovely stuff. And that's a lovely moment too. I don't know why that speaks to me, but this moment here, where he's just eyes closed, opens eyes, and there's the tilt of the head, like he's focusing one more time to say this one more time.
Can I come home this Christmas? I just wanna come home this Christmas. Remember
And now we get Chances Come On Home as well. Again, evolutions, things building. We're seeing a little more each time. I think this is gorgeous.
On this Christmas, remember we're all deserving of a little grace and love.
And now we're getting these really tight close-ups where you can see it's the same layout, but it's like we're getting closer and closer and closer into the request, into the wish, into the dream of coming home, into that yearning to come home, into the pain of not being home, like as we focus in tighter and tighter on Bastien. Lovely camera work in this.
Deserving of a little grace and love. So can I come home this Christmas? Please let me come home.
Again, these lovely upticks from what's actually going on with Rupp right there. He's kind of controlling the pace of this a little bit, and I really, really like the way he's doing so.
On this Christmas, please let me come home this Christmas. Just wanna come home. Let me come home.
Beautiful stuff going on here. I love this hit that Rupp is doing. Oh, I missed it.
Just wanna come home.
That sound right there brings me back to Do You See What I See? Was it that where he was using that? And it was this very evocative sound that was kind of like echoing through the frozen waste. Here it's more about the echoing through the emotional desolation that's been left behind, and I really, really like that. It's a very cool sound, and I think his choice to use it in this ending is very, very powerful. Again.
Let me come home.
Lovely riff there, and I love the fact that it kind of almost doesn't quite finish when the chorus comes in, where he's doing, oh, as he's going down, the chorus comes in and almost interrupts him, and it's just that sense of like it's quite a lot. It's quite a complicated little run, but it kind of implies a little confusion. It kind of implies the depth of emotion that's going on here. It's reserved. It's quiet. It's not a loud, in-your-face kind of run. He's doing a lot with it, and there's some wonderful vocal control there, but it's not being pushed too hard. And I think that really, really serves what he's trying to do with this.
Come home.
And that beautiful descant line from Rob at the end there, just stunning. There's a nice little subversion of expectation here, I think. Let me just confirm this for myself.
Just wanna come home. Let me come home.
So he sings that twice. Just want to come home, let me come home. You would expect a third one. Just wanna come home, or something like that at the end. That's kind of what the ear's almost anticipating. And then you just get this whoa, and then the lovely little descant line from Rob, and it just fades away, and he's just left with the question unanswered. Lovely stuff. That's so good! Oh, that is a powerful, powerful piece of music. Well done, Home Free. Well done, Adam Bastien. That is remarkable. I loved that. That is a really beautiful, poignant Christmas song. And I think that's one of the great things about Christmas songs is the majority of them you think about, oh, what's a Christmas song? It's Jingle Bells, it's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, it's Rocking Around the Christmas Tree, whatever it happens to be. But there are some really beautiful, sad, poignant Christmas songs as well, and I think that is a stunning example of that element of the genre, and truly, truly beautifully done. So bravo, wonderful stuff. I hope that you enjoyed that. Thank you for joining me as I watched through it. That was brilliant, and I loved it, and I hope that you got something out of my watch of it, whether that's if it's Home Free or the video check the description below. You'll see the link to the original there. Hopefully you saw that before you watched this, but if you didn't, go and check them out. They're wonderful. Or maybe you've seen this a bunch of times already, and I just brought something to the fore of, oh, that camera moment, or that little bit of acting, or that subtle bit of music there is why I like that so much, and I didn't realize it. That's the kind of thing I'm trying to do, and if I manage that, then I'm a very happy man. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. Please do like the video, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, and if you would care to, you can donate to support the channel by a donation of any amount, just a one-off, at buymeacoffee.com/DavidKReacts. You can go to patreon.com/DavidKReacts and sign up for $2 or $4 Canadian, or whatever your equivalent would be. That will give you access to my Discord. And it's just a way of supporting the channel long term. And you'll also, when I'm able to get videos out punctually, there's a sneak peek of what's coming as well. I release the thumbnail on my Discord channel a little bit ahead of time. Or you could leave a super thanks here on YouTube, and any of those would be very gratefully received if you would choose to do them. Thank you so much for joining me for this. I really appreciate the time that you folks spend with me, especially if you're still here at the end. Look after yourselves. Have an absolutely wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, nighttime, whatever time it happens to be. Let's say 4:16 p.m. See if anyone's watching it then. And please remember that you are loved, and if you are struggling right now and you are having a difficult time right now, I'm sorry, and I hope that whatever your situation is, it improves soon, and that you are able to go home this year, and that people will welcome you with the loving arms that they should do. Please do take care of yourselves and take care of the people around you. Look after yourselves. I will see you in the next video. Bye for now.